Centre here at the Tshwane Event Centre in South Africa's capital, Pretoria. This is the Nerve Centre where all results will be collated this week. South Africa votes in a long-anticipated election on two fronts, both national and provincial. It's been a busy weekend on the campaign trail as most political parties wrapped up their final preparations with massive rallies. We'll keep you updated as to how that went a little bit later. Of course, the Independent Electoral Commission says it's geared up to conduct special votes today and tomorrow for people unable to vote in the main election on Wednesday. These include the elderly, the disabled and government officials who will be working on election day. Close to 400,000 people unable to reach voting stations on Wednesday have been approved for special votes. Also, international and continental election observer teams have started arriving in the country for Wednesday's elections. Observers keep an eye on voting procedures, the counting of votes and the determination and declaration of final results. Now, former Ghanaian President John Kufuor has been selected to lead the African Union observer team and is expected to arrive in the country today. The forthcoming elections are a significant milestone for South Africa. They mark the 20th anniversary of the country's first democratic elections and are the first elections after the passing of former President Nelson Mandela. To discuss this further, well, we are now joined in studio by His Excellency Mr. Ibrahim Fall, Deputy Head of the African Union Election Observer Mission, and Her Excellency Ms. Konjit Sinajorges, who's the Ambassador of Ethiopia to the African Union. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning.
Ma'am, if I can start with you, just tell us a little bit about the composition of your delegation and then the role that you will play in the week.
Well, we are a very heavy delegation, as you said, headed by former President of Ghana, John Kufuor, and I am deputizing him. And we have 52 delegates in 25 groups all over the country to observe the election, because this is a very important event, not only for South Africa, but for Africa as a whole and for the world.
And the role that you expect to play in this important week?
Well, we arrived, most of us, so in fact all of us arrived the 29th and the 30th of April, and we formed this group, and we've been educated, so to speak, briefing us on the election, what we are supposed to do, the do's and the don'ts, and our role is actually to observe that everything goes smoothly, that there is no foul deed, and we will scrutinize everything. We will be there at 6:30 in the morning on Wednesday and throughout the day until the counting is over.
Now, we're also observing special votes, more than 400,000 special votes over the next 2 days here in South Africa. Do you have an observation role to play with the special votes as well?
Yes, of course. All our observers are already throughout the country, and they will be observing these special votes for today and tomorrow.
When you look for free and fair elections, what are the important factors that the boxes, that so to speak, have to be ticked in order for elections to be declared free and fair?
Well, each international organization, including the African Union, of course, has its own criteria for observation and for judgment on fairness, freeness of elections. And this is why Ambassador was saying that we have been educated, and we will do our best to ensure that our role has been correctly played.
You have to check the box that it's properly sealed,
yeah,
that it is empty first, And then at the end of the day also, when the polls close at 9 o'clock, you have to see that this is still there. And then you stand there to open. And as Ambassador Fall said, we have been through all the process. And their fingers are also what they call indelible ink, that they are printed. They are properly registered. What you call this zip machine works, you know, the registration and all that. But the counting is done manually, so we observe all that. We sit there and go through that.
But what about things like political intolerance and then political violence? How do you view this and how is it judged?
Well, first of all, we meet, if possible, all the representatives of the different parties participating to the election to discuss with them and to try to convince them that election day is just a normal day, not a day for confrontation, not a day for battle, but a day for the expression, the free and fair expression of citizens.
Right.
Ma'am, if I can ask you, this South Africa's role in strengthening democracy throughout the continent, how is it viewed in your country and then in the rest of the continent, if I can ask both of you?
Well, South Africa, as a young independent country, is playing, of course, a tremendous role in Africa. We have all fought, Ambassador Fall, myself, and the rest of us, for the independence and for the demise of apartheid. And it is a special feeling that we have, you know, that South Africa has joined the international community and is playing this very important role. So whatever happens here can be used as an example. But election free and fair should be practiced, whether it's in South Africa, in Ethiopia, or anywhere else in Senegal. We have to fight for that. It's a free expression of the will of the people, and there is nothing more important than that.
Yeah, I think it is very important in the life of a nation to have from time to time an opportunity for the citizen to really choose their own leaders, and also to judge their leaders from the achievement they have done. And election day is an opportunity to choose and to sanction.
Historical context is always very important, ma'am. If I can ask you, how do you view the achievement of South Africa in holding elections in past and now really the sixth democratic election in South Africa? How's it viewed?
Fantastic. Is it the 6th or the 5th? The 6th? Yes. It's every yes,
the 5th after freedom,
yes,
say.
Yes.
It's the 6th in
the
January.
6th, yes, that's right. Yes, but it is the time that we are in. Africa is really practicing democracy. South Africa is practicing democracy. We're trying to embed democracy in our culture, in our society. So I think it's a remarkable thing, and we hope this election will also be another flourishing example for the rest of the African or any country, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, Your Excellency, a final word I'd like to give to you. What's your message that you send out to the South African populace as they prepare in the run-up the last couple of days to this election?
Well, just two small messages. The first one is that South Africa is an important nation within Africa, and it is looked at every day, and especially during this election. So please, I will call the South African citizen to go peacefully to election, to choose their leaders and to accept the decisions. And the second message is to the leaders and to the parties. They should accept the election whether they are winners or they are losers. This is democracy, and democracy, like in the football play, you have to win or to lose. But at the end of the day, for the football, the population is the winner. And for the elections, the citizens are the winners. the leaders are just the players.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Your Excellency, Mr. Ibrahim Fall, who's the Deputy Head of the African Union Election Observer Mission. Thank you for joining us. And then Her Excellency, Ms. Konjit Sinajorjis, who's the Ambassador of Ethiopia to the African Union. Thank you for joining us on
Thank you.
SABC
Thank you so
News
much.
Thank you so
this
much.
morning. Well, now we're going to go